Hey, what's up, guys? Here's another one in the My Experience series. This time I am talking all about frequencies, and in particular, healing frequencies, things of that nature. There's going to be a primary focus on solfeggio frequencies. Um, but first, I'm going to talk a little bit about other frequencies that are out there. So I think the other major one would be Rife frequencies, which is by a scientist whose name was Royal Rife. And if you look up his Wikipedia page, you may find it funny, you may not. But he refers to as the American Medical Association as organized medicine. I don't know if you hear the similarities between that and organized crime. But he blamed organized medicine for covering up all his research, and I believe he actually had a mysterious death as well. Um, but, I'm no detective. I'm not really looking too deep into that. But I think there are a lot of people out there who have benefited from the Rife frequencies. And I mean, there's ones out there for weight loss, hot flashes, parasites, heavy metal detox, scar tissue, constipation, fungal diseases, immune diseases, inflammation, Lyme's disease, hemorrhoids, lung diseases, foot healing. So that's, I'm not going to talk too much about that. Those are out there. Along the same lines of the parasites and Rife frequencies, Hulda Clark has a parasite protocol that I talked about in some of my other videos. And she actually has a parasite zapper where they've shown that you can use this zapper on a bottle of dirty water and it'll clean the water quite well and remove a lot of contaminants. So a lot of people say, well, you can't infer that that actually happens inside of a human body if you use it on you. Some people swear by them. Anyways, I'm not here to talk about those. I am going to talk about solfeggio frequencies. So, originally, I heard about solfeggio frequencies when doing a little research into the common tuning scales that we have today. And 440 is the common tune. I guess the first time in modern history that people started using 440 was certain authors or certain musicians who you may find familiar, known as the Beatles and Elvis. Those were some of the first people. And so reading into this, the 440 scale is supposed to be a little bit slightly out of in tune with the universe, is what I've heard it said. I mean, it sounds hokey again or whatever, but the 440, according to research that I've read, I don't know how well, you can listen or dig into this or whatever, but from what I've read, the 440 can cause things such as impulsivity, mass hysteria, and what better to describe those things than Elvis and the Beatles, right? Because before then, did we know any music that made people absolutely nutso like that? I didn't. I can't find any reference otherwise. If you can, leave a comment below. I'd love to look into it. But anyway, solfeggio frequencies can be heavily regarded as new agey, and some people, commonly talk about how they don't like new age music. And I can totally understand, because if it's the new age music that's using solfeggio frequencies that are actually producing healing resonances that can travel through your body and help your body with all these different things like detox or energy awakenings or energy blockages, clearing energy blockages. And when I say energy, I'm talking about like the electrical system that's in our body that is undeniable that we are electric, partially electric beings. I said it before because if we weren't electric beings, a defibrillator wouldn't work, basically, right? Anyways, moving on. So the origins that I read about the solfeggio frequencies, it's actually nothing new agey at all. From what I understand, what I heard, the official story that I've seen out there is there was an individual who, I believe he was Catholic, as a matter of fact, who was out there kind of searching for different alternative musical scales. And, he knows about the archives that are underneath the Vatican that none of us have access to, type of deal, right? But anyways, he went to the Vatican, and guess what? They turned him away. They're like, yeah, right, we're not going to let you in there. We're not going to tell you any information about this stuff. But him, being a praying man, ended up praying, and I believe he had a dream, as the story goes that I researched about this. He had a dream where Jesus visited him and told him about these alternative frequencies, and actually showed him in scripture where a lot of them were kind of encoded basically in a lot of those boring texts. But anyways, you'd have to do more research on that. I'm going to get back to my experience with solfeggio frequencies. So I talked about this briefly a second ago about how some people really don't enjoy new age type music because they find it kind of unsettling, basically. And before I really dug into this research, I was listening to these solfeggio frequencies myself, and I noticed that I did feel like some detox symptoms, a little bit of nauseousness, headaches, a little bit, because I'd listened to a lot of pop music most of my life. I listened to these disruptive sounds that cause a lot of all these negative emotions and energies and things like that. But the solfeggio ones can actually help your energy and help you be more in tune with nature, so the story goes and stuff. And I felt all these detoxes going on in my body. And this was another thing that I found that really helped me sleep. So I have a playlist that I've had on my channel for a while that's all about solfeggio frequencies for healing and sleep. And there's been other times where if I was in pain or was suffering from a headache or whatever, that I would turn on like I think it's 442 or 147 or 174. Sorry, that's really random. One of those frequencies actually is a really good pain relief frequency. So I totally believe it. I believe frequencies can do anything because the bottom line is pretty much everything around us is a frequency. Colors are frequency, lights are frequency, sounds and vibrations and radio waves, and everything is basically a frequency. So, I mean, if you want to go all biblical on the idea of frequency healing and stuff, you can think about David and Saul. David played, his soothing music, and David played soothing music for Saul. Other than that, there's, the verses that say the power of life and death is in the tongue. So, that sounds like everything under the sun. Other than that, I've talked a little bit about like different chakra healings and stuff like that before. And again, when I was raised, I thought a lot of energy stuff, chakras, auras, I thought a lot of that stuff was hokey and just pure BS. But in my opinion now, I can't deny the fact that we are partially energy. There's the popular saying now that you are a spirit, you have a body, and you're experiencing life through those things, basically, right? That's the gist of it. But anyways, after being moved away from the last place we lived, Kansas City, we've moved away from there for 3 or 4 years now. And we headed back, sat down, talked with some old friends, and some of my old friends were like, holy cow, I can't believe, like, Chuck, you're so much more of an open person now. You're, like, sociable, you're talkative, and that was not anything that they knew before. And I really think that's in part due to what I have done to help open up my heart chakra and just to be more loving and caring and compassionate. I mean, beforehand, to some extent, I was open and caring and compassionate and giving to other people. And I'm sure it's also just to do with my health journey of how I've gotten progressively healthier in so many different ways. So there's frequencies for helping open your heart chakra and all those other ones, and I think they're all related. I think it's beneficial. I know a lot of people are not open to this just because of American society says all those things are fake and stupid, and typically American society says you're just a physical being, basically. That's what we've been told by our society, by our media, by everything, right? There's a separation between body and spirit. Some people saying there isn't even spirit, right? But anyways, there's other ways that you can help with opening those chakras and doing those healings. But this is about all I had to say about my experience. The frequencies help me sleep better. They help me love people better. They help me detox, in my opinion. So, if you start listening to these on a regular basis and limiting the other sounds that you listen to, like the other pop music or whatever it is, kind of genre music that isn't solfeggio frequencies, then maybe you could start to experience some of the similar things of the detox systems that I felt. I guess another thing I wanted to note was when you go into stores, they usually have all this pop music playing because it encourages that impulsivity, and you could just like imagine they try and set up everything in that store for you to buy more stuff, right? And like, I mean, milk's all the way in the back of the store, so that's the most common thing in America. I guess people go to the store to buy, so they go back there, pick it up, and then, oh my gosh, look at this. This is all right there in front of me at the checkout aisle. I got to buy that. Or, oh my gosh, that's something else. It's on sale. I have to buy it, And so that's just some of the things I wanted to talk about through my experience. I do suggest people look into solfeggio frequencies because if nothing else, it is more soothing than a lot of the pop music that's out there today. And I mean, first of all, everything that comes out of your mouth, I've said this for a long time, waters your own soil and helps you grow and become a better person. And everything else that goes into your ears is, planting seeds and helping you grow and become who you are tomorrow. So, think about the music you're listening to, and I would try and find something that's going to encourage you to be a better person tomorrow than what you are today. And if you guys have any other things you want to talk about, one of the other things throughout history, Indian healing bowls, those things still exist today. Those have been around for centuries. People there have always believed frequency can do some healing for you. Again, it may seem hokey, but I believe in this stuff now because I've felt it, I've experienced it, and it's sure not as disruptive as a lot of the music that's out there. So anyways, guys, stay healthy. I think this is the third time that I've concluded this video with saying this is about all I wanted to say, so I think I might actually mean it this time. But yeah, anyways, guys, I appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, and stay healthy.